Yeah, and then I have a question about it. So like just when you mentioned like, you know, like when you see these pattern, like clear seeing, like in a um, more deeper way, would you say there's integration after that, or that clear seeing itself, it takes care of it without any doing on our part?
Yeah, I mean, I always, I don't know why, but I always see it like a spiral. It's like you seeing a pattern, whether it's one small pattern or whether it's the whole show, the personality. It's like, I see it as like a spiral. At one point, there's a first moment when you see it with a bit of objectivity, as if you're outside it. And then you go around and then you live your life and it's there, but not that big. You go around again, then you come to it again and you just go deeper into that. And if that continues and continues, then you get to that critical point that I was describing earlier, which I think Elijah's got to with this, where um, it doesn't fit with you anymore because the consciousness of what is beyond it is too big. And that can happen in different ways. That can happen in, you know, if you've got a sort of bad diet and your awareness of like what is in that food and what it's doing with you, and there's a kind of lack of self-love in you existing on it. It can happen with food, you know, and then there comes a critical point when you just think, yeah, I don't need that anymore. That went with a certain mentality that I was in, but that's changed. But so your question was, is there any doing it? Well, no, I don't think there is any doing in it. You just follow it, and you follow it deeper and deeper, and in the end, it's like it eats itself. It just clears itself. But it's really your, you know, the enemy of it. The thing that stops it happening is your lack of awareness of it. So the more, and this goes back to really what Ruth was saying, the more conscious you are of it, that grows, and then it's like it's an evolution. It doesn't fit with you anymore. When you know yourself, Sawan, as being uh lovable, then patterns of unlove just don't fit and they just fall away. They're just not relevant. So the more you walk in the direction of knowing yourself as that which is before your personality, which is all that game of I'm not worthy and the whole, all of it, the more you know that, it just does itself. Yeah. It's this weird thing of like, well, you are involved because you're following the yearning. That's if you, it's probably not strictly true, but it feels like it's true. Your bit is to follow the yearning, but you're not even responsible for that. I mean, you didn't make yourself have the yearning, but still, it feels in the relative like the willingness to follow the yearning and to become more conscious of these things is is how it works. I think I wrote about it somewhere, maybe in one of the books. There's two sides. There's the absolute reaching to you, and there's you receiving it and opening to it. But you are the absolute as well, of course. But it's still, that's the duality coming together, if you want to put it that way. Yeah. So yeah, it all takes care of itself. Doesn't mean it's not hard sometimes, but it is true. I mean, it's almost like knowing that it's all taking care of itself allows you to go through when it is hard. You kind of get out of the way, you know. And I think what we've had today is a collection of stories. Well, I shouldn't call them stories, accounts of that
Exactly.
happening, and the actual change that comes about in a life. But it's not self-help. It's not that area, because it's not about polishing the personality. It only comes about because you're going beyond that and the needs to be better. And it's not about wanting to be better, it's about wanting to be more free and more naturally who you are. That's where it springs from. Yeah.